Well, John Bishop started in an Irish pub years and years ago, well over 30 when he came to Canada. That's how he met Teresa. And she was a serving person there, and they've been together ever since. And then he went on to do many important things with Umberto and any number of positions around the city. So he has been known and well respected for a very long period of time.
Well, John is the, do we want to call him grandfather or godfather? I don't know which one, but I've heard both used, of local food here in Vancouver.
Because those days Bishop's was the place, in Vancouver, celebrities, all kinds of, big names. 31 years later, I've been part of that institution with John and, enjoyed every minute of it.
Over the years, I wrote many guidebooks, and John was in every one of them. I also did a book on cheap eats. John was never in that book. When I first met John, when Bishop's opened, I was very impressed with the food, the wine list. He was really the first restaurant to focus on BC wines.
John was such a wine aficionado, he loved everything about wine. All the major wine regions in the world, the very, very best in the world. John always wanted the best. One of the first restaurants, I believe, in Vancouver to having Riedel glasses on the table, because he wanted the fine wines to be served in the very best. No one had it, and we were paying top dollar for glasses. Customers who come in and, ask for a bottle of wine, they were expecting that we would have it, and without looking at the list. I want a bottle of Duckhorn Cabernet. I said, I think we have one, So I check the closest liquor store. I said, John, we need a bottle or two of Cabernet, because, okay, I'll go to the store, give them a glass of bubbly in the meantime. Another great night that I never forget was Louis Martini walking into the dining room with his wife. He comes in, he sits again, table 11, reference point. John comes to the front and got to do something to the table. 10 minutes later he comes, we're going to buy him dinner. I said, that's great. I mean, he's an icon in winemaking, California. I mean, probably the first and last time he's going to walk into the dining room, and let's buy him dinner. 2 weeks later, a case of wine comes from the winery with old cabs from the 60s. To John, just something that the connection that John made, with all the customers.
We used to go to Bishop's for our high days and holidays. My aged mother was visiting from England, and we took her to Bishop's. So we had a delicious, delightful meal with fine wine, an enjoyable evening, and then at the end, John rushed over, he pulled up a chair and started chatting with my mother like she was an old friend. Which of course pleased her immensely, that she was being spoilt, totally spoiled. And then he brought a glass of wine, a glass of vintage port, and gave it to her and said, this actually is a glass from 1985, which is the year that I founded the restaurant. So of course that was all very special. So that was a start of a love affair between my aged mother and John Bishop.
That is the biggest thing that I learned from John, is that component of hosting and how important it is to the guest. He has received many awards, but I think it's really appropriate that he's getting this one at this time, with the transition that he's made with his restaurant. And I think it's really nice to recognize him at this level for all of the work he's done. He's had one of the biggest wine cellars in the city, and he's had a really dedicated staff with people like Abel, who have been sharing those stories with the public.
You couldn't ask for a more perfect restaurateur than John Bishop. I think he's the first restaurateur to receive this award, and he's certainly been very influential and very spirited, I think, in the culinary scene, food and wine in Vancouver. So John, here's to you.
Cheers. Cheers, John.
Cheers, John.
I wish you many, many more years entertaining all of us. Thank you.
Well, John, congratulations on your new award, and Saúde.